All right, so here we are. You have discovered your story in the last module, and now I'm going to invite you to do something which might feel a little bit uncomfortable or maybe even a little bit impossible right now. And that is letting go of your story. I'm just going to ask you to let it go. And I'm sure your first response to that is going to be, yeah, that's great, Beth. Yeah, sure. I'll just let it go. Like, I am a victim of childhood abuse, and you want me to just, let's just let that go. I'm just going to drop that out of my memory banks. Or, I've been overweight. I've been struggling with my weight my whole life. I just feel like I'm never going to be good enough. I'm never going to be successful. I just don't have any willpower. That's so who I am. I don't have willpower. And you want me to just pretend like that's not the truth. Well, kind of in a way I do. And here's the thing about this coursework. It's one step at a time, and it does involve a lot of trust. And I'm going to tell you the reason I designed this whole course, and I know I'm kind of going a little backwards here, but the reason I designed this course is because I have walked so many clients through this, so many clients who suffer with anxiety, suffer with overwhelm, just so much stress in their life that they're just sometimes feel non-functional. I have walked them through these steps and watched them fly, watch them become amazingly successful in a very short amount of time. And that's why I'm just gonna ask you to just trust me on this one. So it might not make sense, but you're gonna have to let it go. And here's how you do it. It's as simple as this. So the whole thing is, in every moment we have a choice, and you can choose to hang on to that. So let's just choose something right now. So, kind of choose a story, right? And I'll just demonstrate. So we'll choose that I am, kind of underlining your story is, we'll go back to mine of I'm different. I'm not that great. I'm just different. And I feel really different from everybody. Like I don't fit in. And I'm angry and frustrated about that. And how we let that go is, it's just a choice. It's like, yes, you can hang on to that for dear life, so that everybody that that knows you can say, oh yeah, she just feels really uncomfortable with herself. She just, for whatever reason, she just feels like she's different or not as good as everybody, or I don't know why that is about her. You can hang on to that, or you can hang on to that feeling for yourself. Yeah, this is why I am where I am right now. I'm different. I'm not like everybody else. I don't have their talents. I don't have their courage. I don't have their finances. I don't have access to all the network of people that they have. Here's the thing, you can get so many things to back up your story of why it's a true story, and why, of course, you feel different. Of course you do. But there's freedom, so much freedom on the other side of letting go of your story. And so we're going to just hold hands during this process, and I'm going to ask you to let it go. And how you do that is you just choose. So you choose to just say, I'm no longer identifying myself as, and then fill in the blank, as someone who can't lose weight, as someone who's different, as someone who never has enough money, as someone who's always struggling, as someone who has no willpower, as somebody who is defeated, as somebody who is less than, as somebody who was born anxious, I'm just a worried person. I'm gonna ask you to let it go. And there's a couple ways you can do that. So it's just really a choice. You're just gonna choose every time it comes up, and it's gonna keep coming up because it's such an old story. You've hung on to it for so long because it's so true. It's such a good story of why you are the way you are, right? It just backs it all up. So it's gonna keep coming back up. And when it does, you're going to speak over it. You're going to say, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. I know you're talking to me. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. Oh, yeah. You're talking to me. You're telling me I'm different again. I remember you. Old story. Old story. And so when it comes up, I like this. I heard this from somebody else. So just another kind of quick aside is that I'm not going to tell you anything. Like, none of this is stuff that, like, Beth Szabo designed. You know what I mean? This is, like, stuff that's just, people have been doing this for, using, like, the processes that I'm going to be talking about in different ways, like, for years and years and years, right? And I'm just putting it together into a program. So I'm kind of, like, stealing from other just great people, like, throughout my life that I've learned from, people that I've listened to. And I think this is a pastor that I had listened to a podcast, and you know, he always just says, delete the negative voices, hit the delete button. So when you hear your story come up in a conversation, when you're chatting with a friend or a family member, or you're just so busy beating yourself up of why you are the way you are and just running the story through your mind again, I want you to stop. Recognize that you're doing it. That's the first thing. Like, just notice, like, oh, there I go again. I'm like playing the story over and over in my head. And so recognize it, and then just hit the delete button. Just say, delete, I'm letting you go. Delete, I'm writing a new story. Delete, I don't have room for you anymore in my life. So you're just going to hit the delete button. That's one way. That one works for me. So recognize when it comes up, and then hit the delete button. And then in the next step, I'm going to tell you something about how, you know, what you're going to replace it with through this module. You're going to actually replace it with, obviously, hopefully, a new and wonderful story. But for now, you're just going to practice. Every time your story comes up, you're going to recognize it and make the choice to hit delete. Or somebody else showed, like, you know, like, it's like you're just holding on. It's like baggage, right? It's like, oh my God, this like real heavy, just, I don't know, bag full of just stuff you're bringing to, like, Goodwill, you know, just, you don't even need it anymore, and you're just carrying it around, and it's so heavy. Or a backpack just filled with just junk, right? You just take it off your shoulder, and you let it go. Let it go. That's it. It's simple as that. So make the choice. And sometimes it's in every moment. Sometimes it's really gonna come up against you. And you're gonna take that step to let it go. So practice, and I will see you next time.